Hi, this is Brother Teacher. I would like to share a story with you. And in doing that, I would like also your response, your opinion, or your view as to what you would do if this were you or had been you. And what I'm getting at is this: what would you do if you won the lottery? I'm not talking about 50, $100, not even 1,000 or $10,000. I'm talking about millions of dollars. And I'm speaking to the average man and woman. What would you do? How would you apply that money to your life? Well, I'm sure you probably already are aware that there are many people that have lost their lottery winnings for various reasons. And this young lady that I'm about to mention to you is no different. I might add that there are some that have gone on to maintain a very comfortable life after winning the lottery big. But in most cases, I don't think this comes out that way. So, this young lady, and I'm going to refer to my card so I can get all of the points together and make sure that you really understand what I'm talking about. This young lady was 26 years old. Her name is Marie Holmes from North Carolina. She was a single mom, 4 children. She lived in a trailer. Poor young lady, struggling with one of her children that had a disease. And that disease was cerebral palsy, as diagnosed by one doctor. Now, this mother, as with many other single moms, had her hands completely full. So much so, she could not maintain a permanent job because of dealing with the 4 children. And I would imagine that babysitting had something to do with it as well, and to tend to an ill child at the same time. But as it were, fortune came her way. She won the North Carolina Powerball, $188 million. Now, along with her were 2 other individuals that she had to share that winning pot with. Now, she received $127 million, but after taxes came out, she ended up with a cool $88 million because she chose to pay out. Now, strange thing happened, but not so strange to many of us. It was publicized that she was a winner. She appeared on the lottery show, and along with the governor and a few other constituents, everyone knew that she was now a new millionaire in her town. She ended up moving into a home out of the trailer that she was in with her children. She moved into a neighborhood where she was in now a $300,000+ home. She bought her some vehicles, and she wanted to always help her church. So she gave her pastor, her church, $70,000. It was recorded that the church used the $70,000 for building repairs. Somewhere down the road, through word of mouth and not contractual, she had her pastor ask her for $1.5 million for a retreat. She agreed to it, according to insiders. She agreed to the $1.5 million. How bold of him. I want to add that myself. To ask this woman for $1.5 million for a retreat when she had already given the church $700,000. Was it 700,000? Let me make sure. It was $700,000. That's what she gave the church already. And this guy asked her for $1.5 million. So she agreed verbally, not on paper. And before she even fulfilled the agreement, he had already took his own money, according to sources, and began the building of the retreat. But as luck would have it again, she did not give him the money for whatever reason. You have to you have to go back and do your own due diligence, and you have to study all of these details for yourself. But I'm just hitting the high points, as it were. So this man sued her. Guess for how much? Not for the 1.5 million. He sued this young lady for $10 million. It never went anywhere. He never got paid because it was a frivolous lawsuit. And to boot, this guy really wanted to take her to the cleaners. So he wasn't very much of a pastor, in my estimation. And I hope in yours as well, because it doesn't make sense. Someone gives you a church that you basically grew up in, someone gives you $700,000, and not too long thereafter you ask them for $1.5 million to build something for you, and then you want to sue them for 10 times that, basically. Go figure. Well, anyway, it was also recorded that she helped to purchase her aunt a home. She gave and donated to some charities. And the darkest side of this whole story is that she had a boyfriend, the father of one of her children, who apparently is a career criminal. This guy was locked up, and she paid his bail. And his bail was $3 million. She paid it out of her lottery winnings. This joker gets out. He's arrested again. And his bail was $6 million. She paid that also. And it was also recorded that he had been cheating on her, and that she paid off his mistress. And there were some other distasteful things that allegedly occurred with him and some other females. Now, with that said, this guy gets locked up again, and this young lady, gullible if you will, to the tune of $12 million paid as bond. So the total out of her pocket, $21 million to keep him out of jail. Unfortunately, he was arrested again for trafficking heroin, and he went to prison for 7 years. Now, amidst all of this stuff, especially the boyfriend, and I want to say estranged boyfriend in my terms, if you, well, before I say that, let me say this. I believe that the young lady, Marie, had a very good heart. And to some degree, she probably was searching for love and searching for it in the wrong place with this young man who really didn't love her. Because if he had loved her, he would have not kept jeopardizing his own freedom along with her. And he would not have let the system use her to benefit him if he really loved her. As a matter of fact, he really should have stopped his way of living and joined himself to her legitimately, and became a much stronger couple and family. That's what he should have done. Left all of the dirt behind him, in other words. That's what I'm saying. But he chose the life of crime. and we know what they got him. But I feel sorry for Marie. I hope she's doing well today, her and her children, and I hope that she can see clearly now the bad choices that she had made in her life as it related to that newfound riches, as it were. But I want to ask you today, if you would oblige me, if it were you, and whoever you are, male, female, that's watching this video right now, this woman won the Powerball. After it was all said and done, she received $188 million. I want to make sure that I have that correct. And I don't. It's $88 million. Most of us will be overwhelmed with just $1 million. She received $88 million after the taxes and all of that other extra stuff. So, what would you do if it were you that won a significant amount of money, causing you to be placed in a different tax bracket as a multi-millionaire? What would you do with the money? What would be the first thing that you would do with the money? What would you do ultimately with the money? Would you have done anything similar to what Marie Holmes did for her church and for her community, and also for this career-minded boyfriend or ex-boyfriend of hers? I want to know, and I'm sure that anyone else out there that's watching this possibly wants to know as well. What would you do if you became a millionaire virtually overnight? This is Brother Teacher. Weigh in the comment section. Thank you. So long.